It shouldn't be part of the cost of a college education to have 1 in 5 girls being raped before they graduate.
Today we're taking another important step with a focus on our college campuses. It is estimated that 1 in 5 women on college campuses has been sexually assaulted during their time there. 1 in 5. 3 years ago, we sent every school district, college, and university that receives federal funding new instructions clarifying their legal obligations to prevent and respond to sexual assault. But we cannot stop there. There's obviously more that we have to do to keep our students safe. And that's why here today I will sign a presidential memorandum creating the White House task force to protect students from sexual assault. And we're going to work with colleges,
I began to feel really sick, but I could not shut my glasses. And even if I tried to move my glass balls about, I still could not get out of the line of fire of this picture.
Get me up. I want to be sick. Get something for me to be sick in.
Very soon now, the drug will cause the subject to experience a death-like paralysis, together with deep feelings of terror and helplessness. One of our early test subjects described it as being like death, a sense of stifling or drowning. And it is during this period we have found that the subject will make his most rewarding associations between his catastrophic experience of environment and the violence he sees.
I go, no, I don't want to, I'm okay. I'll figure it out myself. If they just keep bugging me, they just keep bugging me, there's pills on the side. It's got me, it's suicidal, so I'm afraid what's my side. You will laugh and say, I'm afraid what gets me away. I'm not drinking, here's the design. You're the one who's drinking, here's the design. You're trying to be crazy, here's the design. They take me in and institute, because that was the only solution. Give me the professor, I'm protecting from the enemy myself.
Hello folks, Johnny Cashflow here, and I know what you're thinking. Either you're thinking, where the hell have you been for the past 6 months? Or you're thinking, who the hell is this guy and why is he showing up on my feed? Both are great questions, and I'm not going to talk about any of that. Today we're going to talk about forced indoctrination in colleges. So many of you know that I'm going to college. That's partially why I haven't been around. The last semester was pretty busy. Ever since the August 12th Antifa alt-right debacle, I've been just busy with school, and I'm down to my last semester in school, and this is actually kind of where this episode comes in at, is that every year college students are forced to take this sort of indoctrination process. They call them modules, and you'll hear them be called sexual harassment modules, drinking modules, alcohol awareness modules. And the school that I go to, University of Virginia, is no different. And so University of Virginia has its own module called Not on Our Grounds. And when people talk about schools indoctrinating their students, this is a perfect example, because to be able to register for classes, one must complete these modules. Okay, and these modules are absolutely Orwellian, and we're going to get into them. So I have attempted twice now to go through this Not on Our Grounds modules, and I've had to stop twice. I get so heated, I get so pissed off at what these schools are doing that I've decided that instead of just ranting at my wife and my family, and my dog's getting scared because I'm just yelling at how stupid this shit is, I've decided instead that I'm going to film it, and I'm going to film us, and we're going to walk through these modules together, and so you could see what's being pushed in these modules for yourself, and you can make a determination on your own. You could say maybe you're just dumb, or you're overblowing this stuff. Mind you, what has occurred, and what a lot of people will tell you is, and what a lot of people tell me is just, hey, just shut up and do it, right? When you at your work, most jobs, they have to take sexual harassment classes, or have to sit through a sexual harassment lecture, seminar, or whatever. And it's your basic stuff, right? Treat everybody with respect. Don't date your coworkers. The typical stuff, right? So most people that I speak to about this, that's their response, is they think that way, and they think, oh, it's just whatever. It's just a couple minutes of your time. Just sit down. In the military, we have these things. We call them online training because you do them online. And you have to sit through and you just click through the PowerPoint, and then you click that you did it and you move on, right? That's not what this is. So I don't want people to get confused, because that's the typical answer. The typical response is just shut up and just do it. Just get it over with and move on, right? And because this is so different, I feel that it's important to highlight and show people how different it is and the different scenarios. I'm not getting paid by the university to do these, right? I am 30 some odd mid 30-year-olds, right? I take classes with people who are senior citizens who are in their 60s, right? And they're being forced to sit through these things, and we take mostly online classes. So just keep that in mind, that the target of this is your 18, 19-year-old student, but also grown adults are taking this with tons of life experience. All right, so without any more freaking ranting, and this is all going to be unedited because that's one of the reasons why I haven't been on, is because editing takes, just to do a 10-minute video, it takes me 4 hours, 6 hours to do this stuff. So appreciate your local YouTuber, and no editing on this one. We're just going to move on. All right, here we go. All right, so as you can see, I already have 100% completion on the first introduction, and I've got 30% completion on the connections. Okay, that's as far as I've been able to get without just losing my freaking shit. Just the introduction. I had to stop. So we're gonna go through all of it together. You're welcome. So let's start here, and I'm gonna let it proceed. Okay, here we go.
This program focuses on the important issues of sexual assault, relationship violence, stalking, and sexual harassment. These issues can impact anyone, no matter what your age, race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or position at your school might be. They are important for your professional development. All members of the community can play a role in the prevention of, intervention in, and effective response to sexual misconduct. If you feel uncomfortable at any point, we encourage you to review the materials located at the top right throughout this program, and to seek out support resources.
Okay, so first off, notice that this is geared towards 18, 19-year-old kids, young adults. They're not kids, they're adults, going to college, okay? My issue is not that we're teaching kids, sorry, I keep saying that, young adults, not to rape, right? If this whole thing was, hey, Johnny, if you're at a toga party and you see a drunk co-ed on the couch, help her home safely, or call the police, or, get her friends to make sure that she gets home safely. Don't rape her. That'd be totally different. But you notice right on the very first page, they're talking about intervening in the community. Right, you'll notice that as a theme throughout this, it's not just about keeping our grounds safe, not on our grounds, but it becomes not on our community, and you'll see how they start to try and shape and pay attention in these next couple pages, how they try and goad and direct students to not just consider, what they're doing at a party or, while going to college. It's about trying to shape people's ideas and thought processes throughout an entire community, and to push that and push this stuff onto their friends and family.
If you have experienced...
Oops.
This program focuses on the important issues of sexual...
If you have experienced some form of sexual violence or harassment, we hope this program provides you with support. If you choose to disclose an incident, there are multiple resources available to you. Some may be confidential, such as healthcare providers, counselors, and clergy, while others may be required to report incidents. These vary school to school and state to state. This course is intended to engage all students in creating a safe and healthy campus climate, and we encourage you to be a part of that movement. Your voice, your experience, and your perspective matter in promoting a culture that stands up to sexual violence.
Of course, as we've seen in the news and such, your voice, your experience, and your perspective matters, so long as it doesn't contradict the narrative, right? So here's a message from the university, dear student, blah, blah. I skipped through all this. Pretty boilerplate. Okay, moving on.
The University of Virginia is an academic community based on caring and trust. That means that as Wahoos, we should respect and care for ourselves and each other.
Any act of sexual assault or harassment violates these core values and cannot be tolerated within our community.
This education module will help all of us better understand what sexual violence is, how damaging it can be to others in our community, how to prevent it from happening, and how to help others who may have been victimized.
We have a responsibility to look out for one another.
No, we don't.
To prevent sexual assault, relationship violence, and other forms of harassment.
Let's all take the first step and give a few minutes of our time to learn about these issues, our policies, some key terms, and how we can help.
If you are a survivor of sexual violence, this program may be a significant trigger for you. View the program as best you can and access support and resources at www.virginia.edu/sexualviolence.
So are you ready? Let's do this.
Yeah.
Don't let sexual violence exist.
Super excited.
On our grounds.
Woo.
Not on our grounds.
Yeah, I'm just super excited. Super excited. So we'll just move on. Okay, they're super excited to talk about sexual violence. It doesn't like maybe startle anybody or anything. Nobody thinks that's weird. All right, maybe it's just me.
Along with many other things, your academic community values diversity, equality, and safety. Yet, research shows that as many as 1 in 5 women and 1 in 33 men.
So right off the bat, they push the 1 in 5 falsity, right?
Women shows that as many as 1 in 5 women and 1 in 33 men.
All right. So right off the bat, they're talking about diversity.
Along with many other things, your academic community values diversity.
It doesn't like me clicking on it. Damn it. Oh, there it started going. All right. So technical difficulty, folks. All right.
Along with me.
So right off the bat, what do they start pushing? Diversity, equality, right? Which in of itself is fine, but we all know that when they say diversity, they don't mean diversity of thought, right? They mean diversity of skin color and sex, right? And sexual orientation, right? They don't give a damn that if you if you have a dissenting opinion, right? Like we showed earlier. See back previous previous videos on Douglas Muir, right? Who had a dissenting opinion from the majority regarding Black Lives Matter, right? Who got taken to the tool shed and beaten into conforming, right? So diversity, when they say that, they don't really mean diversity of thought or opinion or perspective, right? They mean diversity as far as what's skin deep, which I think is pretty funny, because they kind of peg themselves as being the true arbiters of morality with regards to that. And then same thing with equality, right? They don't mean equality as far as equal opportunity. What they really mean is equal outcome, right? When they say equality, what they really mean is equity, which is more to the point of seeing that equal populations are represented in positions of power, because they care about dismantling hierarchies, right? So it's no longer about if there's differences in, as James Damore kind of wrote, you have people who are free tend to make different choices, right? So when they say equality, they don't actually mean, do two people have the same opportunity to get a job, and the person, or get a position or whatever, and the person who's most capable or most qualified gets that position. What they instead care about is how many CEOs are women, how many CEOs are minorities, right? It's not, well, how much did the CEOs who are currently there, what did they have to do to get to that position, and what did other people not do, right? And so that's what they say when they say equality. They don't really mean equality of opportunity. They care about equality of outcome. Moving on. Oh, so then they go right into the 1 in 5 statistic, right? And so that's right off the bat false, right? So I'm not gonna pull up everything, but look up Christina Hoff Sommers. Look up, just type in 1 in 5 lie, and you'll find a million things debunking all this. Essentially, where they got the 1 in 5 statistic from is from a study from 2 colleges, and even the abstract, even the methodology, the authors of the study wrote in their paper that it was not, that the study was not a good representation of a statistic to be used nationwide. And the reason why is because what you'll notice throughout this entire thing is they conflate, they now are saying sexual violence. Okay, so now they're saying sexual violence, but you'll also hear sexual assault, and you also hear rape, right? Because those are all different things, right? So go Google sexual assault knee touching, right? That recently came out. There was a guy recently who was called out for sexual assault for touching a woman's small of her back. Freaking what's his name? Not Mel Gibson. The other freaking Liam Neeson talked about this in an interview. I hate Liam Neeson. I think he's a total douchebag. But even Liam fucking douchebag Nielsen is sitting there talking about how ridiculous it's getting that a guy lost his job for putting his hand on the small of this woman's back, trying to comfort her because something happened. She was having, I don't know, something bad happened where she rightly so needed comforting. He apologized to her for touching her, and then he ended up like losing his job or something, right? So the first thing they do is they change the language. Okay, so we're no longer talking about rape. So when we think about sexual assault, that's what I think of. I think of violent rape, which is absolutely horrible, right? There's nobody who's like, "Yay, go rape! I'm pro rape. I love that rape." Nobody says that. Nobody's into that. Well, okay. And just like Gavin McGinnis says, yeah, if you find the one guy in the woods who's pro rape, that's not a majority. That's not when we say nobody's into that, we're talking about the 99% of men are like, hey, yeah, rape is bad. All right. So when we argue these points, they change the language from rape to sexual assault. And then they expand that to be touching a person's knee. Again, go Google it. Or touching the small of somebody's back. Or, basically any 1980s movie any coming of age teenage movie is all sexual assault, right? When you have the classic guy and gal, nerdy guy trying to get with the cute girl on the couch at the party, right? And they're all drinking and everybody's having a time, and they're by themselves on the couch, and he tries to make his move, but he's not really sure, and he kind of fumbles through it, and ends up kissing her, and she slaps him or whatever. That is now considered sexual assault. That is part of the 1 in 5 statistic, because they have to expand the definition. Same thing with, and not to get too much on a tangent, but they do the same thing with guns. It goes from murders, right? From murders and homicide to now it's considered gun violence, right? Now we're no longer talking about murders, but to be able to get their numbers and make their numbers seem huge, right? They start casting a wider net and labeling it gun violence, which includes suicides and accidental deaths, right? So, but they call it gun violence. So that's part of the trick here, is they have to change the language in order to make the issue seem bigger than what it really is. Okay, so they're already deceptive. Secondly, or third, I don't know what number I'm on, but the other thing that they with the study is that the authors even admitted that you're going to have a stronger bias for people who have had these horrible experiences, right? So if, let's say, I'm doing a survey, and the surveys were done online, and they were given incentives to take the survey of like a $25 gift card to Star Schmucks or something like that, right? So if I'm doing a survey on people who play video games, on gamers. Okay, I'm doing a survey on gamers and gamers who maybe I want to see if playing games in excess of 5 hours a day or whatever, make up whatever, right, leads to violent behavior or whatever the heck, right? And I just go and I ask people if they want to take this survey on gamers and the gaming culture or whatever, right? It's heavily biased that gamers are going to see that and then go and take the study, go take the survey than non-gamers, right? Because gamers are going to see that, I'm a gamer, yeah, I want to go answer this question, right? I want to go take the survey, right? Oh, and by the way, I also get $25 gift card, right? It's the same thing with this, is that when they say, hey, we're doing a study on sexual assault, we're doing a survey on sexual assault, do you want to be a part of this? If they ask me that, I'd be like, no, like, or whatever. Like, I wouldn't want anything to do with it because it doesn't affect me, right? And I can get into some serious personal issues where actually it has affected me in the past, but it doesn't bother me on a daily basis. It doesn't affect my day to day, so I wouldn't think anything of it. I'd move on, right? Whereas somebody who has been sexually assaulted, somebody who has been raped, right? And I mean raped, violently raped, right, is going to be more inclined to answer the study, or people who know people who have been raped are more likely to answer the questions to take the survey, right? So you have a strong survey answer bias. You have an increasing in the language, a wider net in the language, right? Because asking as again, Damon, what's his name? Matt Damon. Again, hate that guy. He's a freaking douchebag, right? But even he admitted, and he got flack for this. He got flack for this from all the freaking social justice bullshitters, right? Because he admitted that there's a difference between putting your hand on a woman's knee and violently raping somebody in a back alley. Like, those are very violent, very different things. Right, and he caught flack for it, and hashtag Me Too and all this bullshit. Right, went after him. Right, so you can't even make a factual statement like that and saying, hey, there's a big difference between these two things. Somebody who had a guy place his hand on their knee and they say, and they shoo him away. That's not a survivor. You hear this language? They're not. That's not a sexual assault survivor, okay? And to conflate the two is absolutely dishonest, disingenuous, but also it negates it brings down the legitimacy of the woman who was raped in the back alley. So you're saying, oh yeah, no, oh, you were violently raped by five men in a back alley. Oh man, yeah, no, I hear you, yeah. A guy put his hand on my knee once. I totally understand where you're coming from there. I know. Thank God we're survivors. Like that's absolute bullshit. But that's how they can get to this 1 in 5 number. All right, when they okay, 2 more things about the survey, real quick. One was that there was a small sample size as well. They sampled two colleges in this study. They only sampled 2 colleges and only had like 200 people respond or something like that. Again, with the heavy bias on answering such a survey, and then lastly, the way that the questions were asked. It was essentially, it wasn't, the question wasn't, were you sexually assaulted? It was, have you ever had somebody touch your knee when you didn't want them to? Right? So those are, again, 2 different questions, right? One question, very, very, very open and honest. Have you ever been raped? That's a very honest, serious, yes or no question, right? Whereas the question, have you ever had somebody touch you in the small of your back when you didn't directly and explicitly tell them to? Then when they said yes, yeah, somebody's touched my knee, somebody's touched the small of my back when I didn't want them to. Okay, well now, so when they said yes or no to that question, it was then the surveyors, the people who were putting on the study, who then determined based on that answer whether or not the person was sexually assaulted. So it wasn't even the person saying, no, I wasn't sexually assaulted. The guy just touched my knee. It was the study, the people who were putting on the study, who saw, yes, they had their some guy touch their knee. Okay, so they go into the yes column for being sexually assaulted. Okay, so that's how we get to 1 in 5. So notice that they won't mention any of that, but notice how many times throughout this entire thing they mention the 1 in 5 false statistic. And then you have to question, like that's just me doing a simple Google search and just reading what Christina Hoff Sommers had to say, reading the actual survey, reading the actual study in the abstract. They openly say this is not, conducive of a world of a national epidemic or anything, and should not be considered as such. Nobody reads that freaking part, right? So you have to question yourself of whether or not is UVA and really UVA is just the conduit of these modules. These modules are built by somebody else, some third party, right? So do they know the truth and are being disingenuous, or are they completely ignorant and just pushing something that they haven't done the research into? So, it kind of comes down to, are we attributing motive to that which could be attributed to incompetency? And I don't know. I would like to think that the schools and everybody else who puts on this stuff is just incompetent. They just don't know better. But who knows? It's not like Christina Hoff Sommers hasn't made her rounds. She's been to UVA and she's debated people at UVA. So I don't know. Incompetent or disingenuous and manipulative. You guys be the judge. I don't know. Moving on.
Many other things, your academic community values diversity, equality, and safety. Yet, research shows that as many as 1 in 5 women and 1 in 33 men experience sexual assault at institutions of higher learning.
So again, remember, in the previous slide, they were talking about sexual violence. now it's sexual assault. So, which is it? And what's the difference?
And most of them know their assailant personally. When the people you know, family, friends, and colleagues, may be unable to perform at their best because of sexual misconduct and harassment, it's time to make a change. You've come here to study, to work, and to make connections that
and not be indoctrinated
will influence the rest of your professional life. The choices that you make today will have an impact on your future and the futures of the people around you.
It's that community
This
shit that I'm
course
talking
is
about.
designed
Watch.
to help set a positive tone for your community, to help you create an
A positive tone for your community.
environment free of sexual violence and harassment. Remember,
So now we're back to sexual violence. So just 2 seconds ago, it was sexual assault.
these topics are not limited to your life at school. The topics and strategies we discuss will impact your family life, your work, and the rest of your life outside the university.
Okay, so they openly admit that this isn't just about school. This isn't just about school. We're trying to influence your family life, your work, and the rest of your life. This isn't just, hey guys, if you see a young co-ed who has had too much, do the right thing. And no, this is now we want to guide you towards thinking and behaving the way that we want you to.
Let's build safe, positive communities.
Spark conversation. Be part of the solution. Share this video with family and friends. Throughout this experience, you will have the opportunity to share some aspects of the course on social media. Keep an eye out for these links to the right to promote awareness and prevention of violence, abuse, and harassment at your school and elsewhere. Okay? So, again, this isn't just about, not on our grounds. This is, make sure that you push this 1 in 5 falsity onto your friends, family, and everybody else on social media. And don't question it. All right. So that's the first. That's just the introduction. Okay. Mind you, again, we have to go through this. There's no way that I could take any of my courses. I can't sign up for a course. Mind you, I have one course left just to graduate. I just have one course left, and I'm graduating this spring. But I can't move forward without taking this, and I've had to take this multiple times during my time at UVA. Okay. So, also, I totally missed it, but there was a quiz. I guess I can't go back to that. But there was a quiz just to enter into this section. You have to take a quiz. So, and we'll move on. And I'm pretty sure that there's more quizzes as you move on, if I remember correctly. So it's not just, hey, here's some information that could be misleading. Don't go and actually do any research on your own, but just trust us on this. But it's also, now you have to regurgitate back to us when we get to these quizzes. Think about this. Now you have to regurgitate back to us what we've already told you, right? And that is absolutely Orwellian. The 2 + 2 = 5. Like, you have to say 2 + 2 = 5, or else you can't get into your classes, which means that you can't graduate. What I like about you. All right. Yeah, let's review that.
Someone who I can talk to, laugh with, someone who gets me.
Someone who listens to me, doesn't interrupt me or try to talk over
What?
me.
Someone who respects my boundaries, what I'm comfortable or not comfortable with.
Someone who shares my values. My faith is really important to me.
Someone I'm compatible with, a person I could build a family with.
Someone who supports me in the things that I want to do, the things that I want to become.
How cringy was that? So something else to notice is, did you notice all the gay and lesbian couples that they had to put in there? Like, Not to get on this tangent either. I have nothing against gay or lesbian people. What I care about is when they're used as props to push a progressive agenda, right? Like this whole thing. What was that whole thing about? What is this about? Transcript. Soft, calming music plays in the background. Montage of young men and women in couples and alone. Music plays beneath voices. What do you value in relationships? Like, now we're talking about relationships? Like, stay the fuck away from my relationships. Don't tell me what, and we'll see this next. We'll see this. We'll just, God, it's cringy as fuck. But try and pay attention to any of the progressive undertones.
Knowing what you value and deserve goes a long way in helping you build healthy relationships. It is also important that you are able to identify the red flags or warning signs for unhealthy and even dangerous relationships.
So now we're going to get into the part where my college forces me to listen to what they believe is a healthy relationship.
Relationship violence is a pattern of assaultive, coercive, and/or abusive behavior that a person uses to control or dominate a current or former partner. Relationship violence is also sometimes referred to as dating violence or domestic violence. Violence and abuse in relationships can take many forms. It's important to recognize the signs.
So 2 questions. 1, what does this have anything to do with anything? Like, okay, if you're 18, 19 years old going to college, why do you need the college to tell you about this? Like, this is part of growing up. This is part of learning what relationships are, what healthy relationships are, is through trial and error. And also, like, I didn't have the Marine Corps tell me what my relationship should look like to my girlfriend. I didn't need them to do that. I figured it out. You figure it out on your own. Everybody's different. Every relationship is different, right? I mean, you have some relationships, that are. You have some of the most healthy relationships that on the outside appear very unhealthy. Like, you want to get into some really kinky stuff, just saying some things on the outside may not appear, may not be always what they appear to be. Okay, some people are into different kind of relationship dynamics, okay? People have to figure that out on their own, all right? Secondly, look at the other side of this. So not just 18-year-old, 19-year-olds, but now you've got adults who are married and have kids, right? I've got people in my classes that are 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I had there's a woman in my class that's a grandmother and going on to be a great grandmother, and she's just taking classes just to better herself, and she has to sit through this. Imagine being 65 years old, married with great grandkids, having to sit through this. And not only that, you're paying them, dozens of thousands of dollars to do so, to tell you about what a good relationship is.
Relationship violence can take many forms and impacts more people than you might think. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, over 1 in 4 women and 1 in 10 men have experienced sexual violence, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetimes. Often, abuse cycles between one or more controlling or dominating behaviors. Sometimes an abusive partner will apologize and change his or her behavior for a short time, but the violence often reoccurs.
Again, what does this have anything to do with anything? Like, what does this have to do with going to college at the University of Virginia? I don't see the point.
It is important to understand legal definitions related to domestic violence where you live. Select your state below.
Yeah, I don't see any below, so we're moving on.
It is important to understand institutional definitions related to domestic violence. See your school's definition below.
Again, they say below, but I'm scrolling down and I don't see anything, so...
Click each story to look for any warning signs or red flags.
Here we go.
Then compare your assessment to what the experts say.
So, again, pay attention to all of the dog whistling of a progressive, right? Well, as we move through these.
Ariana constantly puts Andre down and insults him in front of others. He can't seem to do anything right in her eyes. She calls him out on the way he dresses, the food he eats, and every little word he says. What does this behavior signal to you?
So, notice that they don't give any other context, right? Like, I mean, does Andre, has Andre expressed to her, to Ariana, that, maybe his life was a mess when they first met, and he needs somebody to help, kind of get his life in order, and she could be the best thing for him, he's turned a new leaf, before he was just a lazy good-for-nothing sitting around a couch, eating freaking pizza and dressing like a slob, and then he meets her, and then he's like, man, I want to be better for her, But there's none of that. It's just, this is some information here, and you're expected to make a judgment on a relation, I get it, it's a fictitious relationship, right? But you're supposed to, but they're getting you to judge other people's relationships, which is something that I have problems with. Like, don't judge me in my relationship. Fuck you. I don't judge other people in their relationships. Okay, well, I say that. I do have a few friends that I think, wow, they have a really great marriage. That's about the extent of it. If it's not my place to judge, and it's not your place to judge other people's relationships. So, it's probably okay.
Constant put-downs and humiliation can be signs of emotionally abusive behavior. Insults and other verbal and emotional abuse have no place in a relationship of mutual respect.
Of course.
These behaviors can also be indicators that someone could become physically or sexually abusive.
Again, going back to the kinky world, maybe she's a dom and he's a sub, and he gets off at being slapped around and told that he's fat and disgusting or whatever. We don't know. So leave it the fuck alone. Like it's not the place of this college to tell me that I need to be judging other people's relationships. So that's Ariana and Andre. How about Brad and Malik? Some progressiveness here.
Malik agrees to attend his boyfriend Brad's work event and fails to show up.
Dog whistle.
Malik later shares he had a good reason for missing it. But Brad says he was embarrassed and asks Malik to alert him the next time he can't keep an agreement. Malik agrees and apologizes. What does this behavior signal to you?
It's definitely not okay. Definitely not okay.
People in healthy relationships can disagree and even be upset or angry with each other. What is important is that both people act respectfully, even when they're angry, and communicate their expectations to the other. In this situation, Malik and Brad communicated openly and respectfully about a problem and came to a resolution.
Well, it's a good thing that all gay people have perfectly healthy relationships. Good on Malik and Brad.
Since Tasha started seeing Kyle, she hasn't been spending time with her friends like she used to. She says that Kyle wants her to spend all her time with him. She dresses differently and sometimes acts closed off when they try to talk with her. What does this behavior signal to you?
It signals to me that Tasha is growing the fuck up and is getting serious with Kyle. Maybe they're looking to get married and move in together, and that's kind of what happens when you start seeing somebody. Is you stop hanging out with your friends, and in most cases, I mean, this is a trope. This is a comedy trope, right? I mean, this is in almost every single television show is that when a guy starts dating a new girl, right? She starts, it starts small, right? She moves her toothbrush in, right? And then he stops hanging out with the guys as much, right? And then she starts dressing him a little differently, right? Making him actually look nicer, more appealing. I know I dress not a whole lot differently, but my wife definitely has picked out some nice clothes for me. Cause I don't know. I'll admit that I'm a total dude. I have no idea what looks good or not. I have no idea. So, I just wear whatever the hell she picks out for me, but I'm sure we all know what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen. They're a straight couple. So that's probably definitely not okay. Right?
It's normal to want to spend time with someone, but it is not okay to isolate someone from family or friends.
Because that's what's happening.
In a healthy relationship,
we know this.
People respect each other's boundaries and support what and who is important to the other person.
Because we're so intimate with these people that we're able to judge them and know what's good for them and what's bad for them. Because we know better than them. They don't know better. All right. So we know what's best for our friends. And so we need to do something about it. So good thing that this straight couple is not okay. Brittany and Alice.
Brittany broke it off with Alice over a month ago, but Alice keeps texting her excessively. Yesterday, she showed up at Brittany's apartment without warning.
We all know where this is going.
Alice tells you that Brittany doesn't know it, but she's been keeping tabs on her for a while. What does this behavior signal to you?
Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I could not live without you.
Stalking is a pattern of behavior that is repeated, unwanted, and would cause a reasonable person to feel fear. It is a crime in all 50 states. Stalking behaviors include following someone, watching them from a distance, and/or unwanted communication, whether face-to-face, by phone, text, social media, gifts, or other means.
That's why if any guy shows up outside your window holding a boombox in the rain in a trench coat, trying to win your love and affection, you could call the police and, get him arrested.
Marcus and Jade have been married for 3 years. Marcus convinced Jade to let him handle all of their finances, so she didn't have to deal with the stress. Marcus has been depositing Jade's paycheck and giving her a monthly allowance, but won't let her view their shared bank accounts. What does this behavior signal to you?
Stupidity. Keep separate separate bank accounts, folks. All right. You can have a shared account, right? That's good. You can have a shared account, but then have your own separate accounts. All right. That's what that signals to me. We all know where this is going. You notice that was there a single straight couple that was good?
Marcus has kept Jade from taking part in their important financial decisions. Financial abuse can start subtly and progress over time, and includes when someone forcibly controls another.
Yeah, I don't care about that. All right. So, was Tasha and Kyle?
Since Tasha started seeing Kyle, she hasn't been spending.
So all of the straight ones were all bad. The only good one was the gay guys. Got it. Cool.
A person might be experiencing relationship violence if they talk often about their partner's jealousy or possessiveness.
Hey, jealousy.
Express an extreme fear of displeasing their partner. Receive excessive phone calls, texts, or emails from their partner.
You hang up.
Endure humiliating language or are made to feel bad about themselves. Experience isolation from friends or family. Don't have access to or control of household finances or other aspects of their shared life. If you think your relationship may be abusive, know that you deserve to be treated with respect.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Communicate clearly with your partner. If you feel safe doing so, let your partner know you are unhappy in the relationship. Reach out to a friend, family member, school resource, or helpline for support.
Because they're all judging you in your
Connect with
relationship.
school or community resources to learn about your options. Take any steps necessary to help ensure your physical and emotional safety. If you observe an abusive relationship, check in with the person experiencing the abuse. Let that person know you are concerned.
I'm in an abusive relationship
Ask
with
if there's
my
anything
college.
you can do to help. Offer resources and encourage them to seek support. Remind them that they deserve to be in a healthy relationship.
UVA and I are in an unhealthy relationship. They're forcing me to do things against my will, and they lie to me. They're lying to me excessively. They control my finances. They...
Every college and university has its own set of policies and expectations. Review your school's policy below. If starred, be sure to e-sign to indicate that you have read and understand the policy.
Why? Why does a school have anything to do with people's relationships? Like, that is not the role of a college. Dating violence is a form of intimate partner, basically dating spousal violence threatened, included. Got it. Click to e-sign. Yeah, I will make sure not to date violence. I clicked it. Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
Every college and university has its own set of policies and expectations. Review your school's policy below. If you need assistance or would like more information, your school and the local community. If you need help or would like more information,
what is this?
There is a wide variety of resources available to you.
GLBTQ? That's a slight rearranging of the alphabet, right? That's the acronym alphabet. I don't want to go through all that shit. But again, why does the school have to tell me?
Sexual harassment is unwanted and unwelcomed sexual behavior that interferes with one's ability to perform academically or to feel comfortable in one's school environment. Anyone can experience or commit sexual harassment. Students, faculty, or staff. Even if behavior is not sexual in nature, aggression, intimidation, or hostility based on sex or sex stereotyping is also considered sexual harassment. Select each type to learn more.
So here, I really don't have a whole lot against this. This is my first time going through this as I'm going through it all with you guys. But yeah, sexual harassment is bad and shouldn't be stood for. Like, this is actually, seems like right off the bat, there's some, the sketchiest, but you see how they're trying to widen the net with, even if behavior is not sexual in nature, aggression, intimidation, or hostility based on sex or sex stereotyping is also considered sexual harassment. See how they're trying to widen that net? So, like, I was up to them, I was with them right up to that point, and then I'm like, well, let's tap the brakes here. Because this is when you get, you know, yeah, this is when you start getting into an area where people are being, charged with sexual harassment for not sexually harassing people. It's not like people are going Harvey Weinstein here, but let's see where we got. Oh, sexist jokes, homophobic language. What is homophobic language? Like, what does that mean? Like, the only thing I can think of that they would mean by this is, like, calling somebody a fag. But gay people themselves call themselves, like, fag hags, right? Like, people who, my lesbian friend was telling me about this. So I'm trying to repeat what she was talking about, how, like, there's, like, lesbians who love hanging out with gay people, gay guys, and so they call them fag hags. Is that homophobic? Like, no, they just call them fag hags because they're lesbians who like hanging out with gay dudes. Like, this whole word policing and calling it something that's clearly not is that's that last part that I was talking about, where they start widening this net just to look to target people. And I don't like it. Comments about appearance. Hey, Barbara, you look nice today. Congratulations, motherfucker. You just got sexually harassed. You are now fired or whatever, kicked off. Not on our grounds. Don't comment about somebody's appearance. Don't give anybody any kind of compliments. We wouldn't want anybody to be complimented around here. Catcalls. Who catcalls? I mean, what does that mean? Like, I mean, that's not a real thing. Like they showed that one chick walking through like downtown Harlem or whatever. Downtown Harlem, as if I know what the hell I'm even talking about. But like, she walked through like the slum area and she was getting catcalled. Like, yeah, if you walk in a slummy area, you know, then yeah, the classic, if you walk by a what's it called, a freaking construction site, right? And you get catcalled a little bit. Like, okay, who cares? Like, you know that you can just ignore people. Jeez. Request for sexual favors. Yeah, that's uncalled for. Yeah, we'll give them that one. All right. Nonverbal sexual gestures. Can you give us an example? Inappropriate messages, emails, indecent exposure. Pee Wee Herman. Sexually explicit material. Oh, what constitutes sexually explicit material? You know, like, I mean, there are some comics, humorous comics, comic strips which make sexual innuendo jokes, but they're, I mean, you know, I don't know, whatever. Physical, obviously, unwanted touching. So, okay, so here we go. Unwanted touching, sexual assault, and rape. So sexual assault is not rape, or rape is not sexual assault. Those are two different things. And unwanted touching, well, it's the guy freaking put his hands on the small of the woman's back. I mean, to comfort her. She was crying, and he tries to comfort her and be a friend, and that's sexual harassment. So don't compliment her. Don't, if she's crying and just having the worst day of her life, don't touch her, because that would just make her into a victim, and that's what we want, right? We want everybody to be victims. All right, cool. That's awesome. Can we just do the video transcript then? Alright, so let's read through this real quick. A young woman wearing a lab coat is standing in a lab holding a clipboard. Female narrator. I was a graduate student working on my master's project at the lab where Robert had been a research scientist for a few years. Robert appears next to her, holding a tablet. Both are smiling while looking at the tablet screen. At first, it was great to have him around. He helped me get my footing in a pretty competitive environment, and he treated me like an equal. I was grateful. Watch out for those male feminists, ladies. Male feminists are the worst. On screen, smiling and laughing. Narrative. Since Robert was always joking around, I didn't take his off-color jokes too seriously at first. Bum bum bum. Robert's is a racist, sexist bigot. Narrator looks in disbelief at Robert. Ha! Fucking Bob. He made remarks about my clothes from time to time, like, what are you wearing under that lab coat? Once he said, 26, smart and attractive, guys must be all over you. Yeah, we see where this is going. Rob's a rapist. I reluctantly agreed to his online friend request. Really? Did you really reluctantly? Like, to an online friend request? Like, people give those things out like candy. Like, you just click yes. Like, Who sits there and really ponders? I don't know. He's my coworker. He compliments me a lot. I don't know. Scene changed from lab to narrator standing in her living room looking at her cell phone. He later asked for my number, and then he started texting me in the evenings. At first, it was about work stuff, but soon it became more personal. Well, that is what happens sometimes when people work closely together. I wasn't comfortable with the situation, and I didn't know what to do. Have you said, "Hey, Robert, man, I'm tired, bro. It's late. I don't really, can't talk right now." Have you thought about that? Have you thought maybe just communicating your feelings? You wouldn't want to fucking talk to Robert. You wouldn't actually want to be like, "Hey, bro, I appreciate everything, but let's just keep this strictly professional," or just do what everybody else does and lie. Like, "Oh man, you caught me leaving. I'm with my dying grandmother. I stubbed my toe," or just say, "Hey man, I don't feel like talking right now." Keep it simple. Maybe the key reference I needed in the future. Choices and consequences. Narrator sits in front of her laptop with phone, looking confused and concerned. I didn't want to make a scene, and I really didn't want him to be mad at me. Well, that's your own fucking problem now, isn't it? That's not Robert's problem, right? That's not Robert's fault. If you don't express yourself, right? So here's where so it's Robert's fault that you didn't say, "Hey, leave me alone. Hey, we're just work friends, man. I don't really want you to text me unless it has something to do with work." Like, that's Robert's fault. Narrator types on her laptop. Finally, on the advice of a counselor, I wrote a simple email to Robert. I said that you wrote an email to him. He's texting you, like you wouldn't just... Alright. I said that I really enjoy working with him, but I wanted to make sure we kept our relationship professional. Alright, that's fine, whatever. Told him how much I respected his advice. I asked him to try to understand my position. Fine. Change from narrator's home to lab. Robert stands next to her, looking away as she writes a clipboard. It seemed to work, not perfectly, of course. Robert was awkward and kept his distance for a few weeks, but things gradually reset between us. Mr. Clever seeming helpful. They both are smiling. He began to see me as a colleague, strictly a colleague. And if I see anything similar happen to one of my classmates, I know I'll step in and say something. Because that's what you need to do. You need to step in. You need to pay attention to other people's relationships. You need to get involved in other people's fucking lives and not mind your own fucking life.
It is important to understand institutional definitions related to sexual harassment. See your school's definition below. Every college and university has its own set of policies and expectations.
Okay.
Review your school's policy below. If starred, be sure to e-sign to indicate that you have read and understand the policy.
So I guess I didn't have to read that. But sexual or gender-based harassment. What's I'm not even gonna get into the gender thing.
If you witness or experience any form of sexual harassment, take action. Everyone has the right to an academic or professional environment that promotes their well-being and success. In the next section, you will learn about another type of harassment, stalking.
Because that's important for us for college students to learn about.
Every college and university has its own set of policies and expectations.
Shut up. All right, so just for a second, just not going to go too much into it, but with all of the 1,000,001 genders that people are creating every day, like, do you see how this language can be abused and used and expanded? Gender-based harassment. You see how this could get into well, you didn't use my preferred pronouns, so that's a gender-based harassment. And that's equivalent to Robert awkwardly trying to take the narrator out on a date, but because he's a scientist, which means that he's probably on the spectrum somewhere, he's probably kind of an awkward guy, just shyly trying to, whatever.
If you
whatever. Anyways. Stalking. God, this is painful.
Stalking is a pattern of behavior that is repeated, unwanted, and could cause a reasonable person to be fearful or suffer substantial emotional distress.
Like OCD.
Stalking can include following or watching someone, unwanted face-to-face, phone or text communication, unwanted gifts, communicating through a third person, or stalking through technology.
How many movies and 1980s movies and coming of age movies has the girl talked about, just wanting him to chase after her, just to fight for her, I wanted you to fight for me. I wanted you to fight for us. Oh, not stalking.
Stalking can occur inside or outside of a relationship. Select each graphic to reveal some of the facts about stalking.
Oh, just like the facts of 1 in 5 women are brutally raped in back, whatever. Here we go. 1 in 6 women. That's a fact. Citation, please. Where's the citation? Oh, there's no citation, but let me tell you, I could share this. I could share this with my community. It's a fact. And what's the net? What again? We talk about that wide net. What's the net of experience stalking? Like a woman saying, "Hey, Robert, I don't really appreciate you, going beyond a professional relationship here," and Robert, a month from then saying, "Hey, man, you sure you don't want to go out on a date? I could, we could go to a really nice restaurant." Is that stalking? That's face-to-face, unwanted contact, right? So that's considered stalking. She's a victim. She's a victim. Yeah. Actually, I've been stalked based on a lot of this stuff. That's funny. And I've stalked. I do. I mean, we call it Facebook stalking, right? And when you go and you look at your your ex or your friend from high school or whatever, and like. Yeah, no shit.
It is important to understand institutional definitions related to stalking. See your school's definition below.
Why does my... Well, okay. So, I'll give up some ground here. Absolutely, the school should have some sort of policy with regards to stalking and stalking behavior. But that policy should be to notify the police. Contact the police because it's illegal. So anything that is illegal, you should contact police. It should not be up to the school to set up a kangaroo court and try the individual, right? Call the police. Most of this stuff, all this sexual violence stuff, call the police. That was on the quiz. I know I'm going off on a little rant here, but on the quiz that I had to take earlier, it was the question was like, what would you do if you suspect that your friend is going to be sexually assaulted, and there were 3 options, and one was like tell her, the other one was like try to distract her, or like tell her friends and try and like come up with some elaborate plan to spill a drink on her to get her away from the guy who's clearly wanting to rape her. Those were the options. I shit you not. None of them were call the police. And I know you got to take my word for it. I don't know how to bring that test, that quiz.
How
back
can
up.
you help prevent stalking? What can you do as a bystander? Select each icon to explore.
Again, where's call police? What can you do as a bystander? Okay, so again, I don't pay attention to my peers, my academic peers in colleges. Like all my classes are online. Like that, and that's what my program is moving towards, is all online classes. So, you know, I don't care about any of this. If you're expressing interest in someone, get the hint when calls and messages are unreturned. Okay, again, what if the person has Asperger's? You know, it's functional, right? It's, you know, but you know, like James Damore is an example that I use. You know, somebody who, you know, these engineer types, these scientist types, these people who count the number of tiles in the ceiling and can do, you know, quantum mechanics in their brain. They're not known to be the most socially adept individuals, you know. So, you know, it's telling somebody to just get the hint, bro. Take a hint. Yeah, that doesn't work. They don't understand social cues like that. Hell, I joke about being borderline autistic because I don't get social cues. I don't know. Like, just, jeez. Okay, be clear and concise. Be clear when deciding social or romantic request. Oh, sorry. I can't read. Be clear when declining social. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Speak up. Tell a friend who you think is stalking someone that. None of this says, hey, go to the police. If somebody's stalking you, go to the fucking police. Where's that? Hey, if somebody's doing something illegal, which we just said it's illegal, right? And we keep saying it's illegal. None of this is saying, go to the police. Let the law handle it like you're supposed to. Warn them about the consequences of continuing the behavior.
If you suspect someone is stalking you, end all communication with the person who is stalking you. Don't get into arguments or pay attention to them. That's what they want. Talk to someone you trust, or an advocate at your school or in your community, who can help you explore your options and decide how to deal with the situation.
How about go to the police?
Consider contacting police if the stalking behavior persists.
There we go. I'm sorry. I didn't read far enough. All right. There's one.
Let
all right, I'll give him that one.
Friends and your employer know you are being stalked. Share a picture of the person.
I can see it on that one.
Write down the times, places, and detailed summaries of each incident. Keep all emails, texts, posts, and tweets.
All right, so besides going to talking to someone you trust, a mental health counselor, blah, blah, I'd say just go straight to the police. But everything else is actually, that's good information. All right.
Every college and university has its own...
I can see it, that one. All right, fine. Moving on.
What about cyberstalking?
Oh, God.
Send a clear message to a cyberstalker that you do not want further communication and will contact authorities if messaging continues. Save all communications from a cyberstalker, as authorities may be able to use them in an investigation. Other tips. Be strategic about meeting in person someone you've met on the internet. Meet in a crowded public place and make sure to let someone know where you're going and with whom. Don't share personal information, name, phone numbers, addresses, etc., online. Consider creating separate email accounts for social networking sites that require personal logins.
We're looking at you, Tinder users. All right, where are we up to now? So what do we, oh, be yourself. Oh, dear God. Do you see my point, guys? See what we're getting into? None of this, not language matters. Oh my God, this is going into my freaking thesis. None of this has anything, oh my God, has anything to do with going to college. Cultural factors, this is gonna be some straight A socialist freaking social justice bullshit. Ah! Damn it, I actually wanted to watch this. Come on. What's up with this bullshit? Okay. Every individual is responsible for his or her own actions. God, I wish they meant that. I wish they meant that so much. I mean, are you kidding me? Every individual is responsible for his or her own actions. Except for when people make poor life decisions, and then we make up excuses to why we need to punish others to help that person out. Every individual is responsible for his or her own actions. So if you are a mother of 7 working at a minimum wage job, except for you're not responsible for your own actions. No, all the taxpayers need to be responsible for your actions, right? Like Angel Adams, right? Did I show her in a previous film, right? We all remember, right? Somebody needs to be responsible for all these children, right? She had 15 kids. To 3 or 4 different fathers who are all in jail. But so every individual is responsible for his or her own actions, but that's just lip service. We don't actually mean that. But there are a number of social and cultural factors that could contribute to a climate that allows sexual violence to persist. No. Social and cultural appear on sides of sexual violence appears. Between the two, it is important to be aware of these factors in order to be an agent of change. God, I wish I could watch this video. Can I YouTube this shit? 6 circles rotate around word change. Give me a second, folks. I'm going to pause this. I'll be right back. All right. For you guys, that took 2 seconds. For me, a lifetime.
Every individual is responsible for his or her own actions. But there are a number of social and cultural factors that can contribute to a climate that allows sexual violence to persist.
The patriarchy.
It is important to be aware of these factors in order to be an agent of change, whether by
An agent of change? What if you don't want to be an agent of change? What if you want to maintain the status quo? What if you didn't vote for Obama?
Intervening in a problematic situation, supporting a person who has experienced sexual assault, or providing leadership on these issues within your program, department, or professional organization.
How much
At the
mind your own
individual
business?
level, someone may exhibit personal beliefs or attitudes that increase their likelihood for perpetrating sexual violence. Social and familial relationships can also be contributing factors. For example, some individuals may not have been exposed to models of healthy communication and positive relationships. Broader social environments can also play a role. An individual's experience within his or her community, including schools, workplaces, and neighborhoods, may contribute to the risk of sexual violence, especially if there are no effective processes or policies to help address it.
You mean like the police and the United States federal legal system, established under Article 3 of the Constitution.
Finally, society at large may support a climate that allows sexual violence to persist through gender inequality, media stereotypes, or certain religious or cultural beliefs.
What gender inequality? Can you give me an example? What gender inequality does anybody in the West face today? Any? Yeah, I'll wait.
To help prevent sexual violence, we must address these contributing factors at each level.
Do you guys see what I'm talking about? See, this isn't just like, hey, just shut up and just get on with it. It's not going to be that big of a deal. No, this is pure progressive democratic talking points. Every step along the way here. It's incredibly politically biased. It's all the democratic talking points here.
Language matters.
No, it doesn't.
The words we choose reflect our personal values, and they also create a climate for those around us. Select each icon below to hear a quote. then drag it to the category where you think it belongs.
Do you see? Do you see this? I mean, I'm literally writing my paper on the rise of social justice and the subsequent dismantling of free speech on college campuses. And here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Language matters. Well, sure. I mean, if you want to say such a baseless platitude, you know, that has no foundation in anything, sure, yeah, language matters. You know, like, but they really don't matter in the context of what we're talking about here.
Guns don't kill people. Female drivers do.
Wow. Holy fuck. Hear that again?
Guns don't kill people. Female drivers do.
I mean, I don't give a shit about the, you know, they're trying to say that this guy's sexist, but then you want to bring guns into this discussion now too? It's definitely okay. Everything's going into it's probably okay. Notice this. It's definitely not okay. I'm not sure. It's probably okay. There's no. It's definitely okay. Sexist jokes aren't funny or harmless. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're absolutely hilarious when told correctly. I mean, that one was really pathetically done. But there are tons of funny sexist jokes against men and women. I mean, you know, and they are harmless. What did the woman say to the man? You're a dick. I don't know. Like if somebody takes offense to that, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's on you. You can only take offense. You can't give offense, right? You can only take offense. So if you are offended by sexist jokes, don't listen to them. But like, they can normalize offensive behavior and promote discrimination. No, they can't. No, that's bullshit. That's absolutely bullshit. If you can't take a joke, then don't listen. You know, plain and simple. You know, in the Marine Corps, there's so many racist jokes being made in the Marine Corps. I call them racial jokes, not racist jokes, because I mean, every day you can't go the entire day without hearing somebody rip on white people, black people, Asians, Hispanics. You know, you can't. Everybody gets ripped on, and when everybody gets ripped on, then nobody gives a flying fuck. It doesn't matter. Because everybody, you know, gets the fuck over it and realize that you can make funny racial and sexist jokes. It's okay. It's okay to laugh at yourself every once in a while. Shit. What's this one?
Red's bourbon. What real men drink.
Yep. Promote outdated and outdated. Oh, well, if it's outdated, then we shouldn't use it, right? You know what else is outdated? I mean, you know what we've been doing for the longest of time? Breathing. So we should stop breathing. I mean, breathing is so like 10,000? I don't know how many. I don't know. I think it's been longer than that. I don't know. I'm trying to think back to when the first Homo sapien. It was a long time ago. It was millions of years, 10 million years. I don't know. I'm trying to remember back. I studied this one time. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Yeah, it's what real men drink. Okay. Well, women, if you like it too, you can drink it. Ah, man. And not only that, if you drink it and there are men there who think this is what men drink, and you drink it, they're probably going to think, oh, damn, she's pretty fucking legit. She's drinking this hard-ass bourbon. Like, you're going to get respect. Ah, God. Short-sighted gender stereotypes. You know why we have stereotypes? Because, like, stereotypes don't just come out of nowhere, right? Like you know, white men not being there was a movie, White Men Can't Jump, right? Nobody thought that was racist, right? But you know where that stereotype comes from? It comes from the fact that black people on general, or white people on general, in general, are not able to dunk a basketball as much as in general as much as black guys can. That's why black guys play in the majority play on the NBA. There's many more black guys in the NBA than white guys, right? But nobody who made this shit is gonna, if they hear white man can't jump, are gonna think, whoa, hey, that's an outdated and short-sighted racial stereotype there, sir. That's racist. No, they're gonna laugh. They're like, yeah, you're right, because they're fucking hypocrites.
What did she expect, wearing a skirt like that to work?
I mean, I don't know. What does she expect? And what's the skirt like? What? I mean, you're led to believe that he's talking about a short skirt, but how do we know that she wasn't mocked and ridiculed for wearing a big, fluffy, poofy skirt that, pink with a poodle on it and sequins everywhere and just looks ridiculous? See, you're led to believe that this guy's a sexist, right? Because it's a guy saying it, right? But if it was a woman saying, what does she expect wearing a shirt like that to work, right? If it was a woman saying it, you'd be led to expect something. You'd be led to think something else, right? So they're conditioning your mind to accept that. All back to that 1 in 5. Nope, it's okay. Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, who cares? See, do you see that? Nowhere in what they said had anything to do with sexual harassment, assault, or violence. Nothing. But they lead you to believe that. They need you to believe that saying something like that it has something to do with sexual harassment, assault, and sexual violence. God. And furthermore, nobody makes this argument. Like this is such a straw man that they use that they're rape apologists, saying, oh well, look at what she's wearing. No, typically it's, well, they got back to his house and he invited her upstairs for coffee and she went with him, and then 6 months later she claimed that he raped her. It's like, well, she went up for coffee, like that's more like or you'll hear, well, she was, drinking a lot and hanging on guys at the bar. Now, is that an excuse for rape? Absolutely not. I'm not here to make that argument. What I'm saying is that the two arguments are they're conflated, and it's a straw man that often gets used against something that's a more rational position of, well, she was drinking a lot at the bar and hanging on guys and kissing on guys and just, acting, in a very, the only word that's coming to my mind is loose, but I don't want to say loose manner, but, she was acting very, I don't know, whatever, insert whatever, she's, whatever term here, and then she ends up, claiming that she got raped, and then that gets into false rape statistics and what could have in different stories, and that, again, all that needs to be handled by the police. But you take a rational position of, well, she was behaving a certain way and she was acting a certain way, and then they turn it into, well, look at that skirt. What do you think was going to happen? Which nobody says that.
That tie is a little gay, don't you think?
Yeah, it probably is. Like, if somebody were to tell me that I had a really gay tie, especially a female, right? Notice that the female there, like, what female ever says that's gay? Like, that's totally a guy thing to say. But if some person told me that I had a really gay tie, I would thank them, because gay people dress incredibly nicely. Like, again, generally speaking, right? This is one of those gender stereotypes, right? Sexual orientation stereotypes. But generally speaking, you know, they're pretty well dressed, pretty sharply dressed. So if somebody said that you know, I you know, my tie looked gay, I'd be thankful. I'd be like, thanks, because you know they're gay guys. Gay guys are sharp, man. They know what to wear, man. I wish I had a gay guy. I wish I had a gay guy just to help me dress. Cause my wife is good. Don't get me wrong, she's good at helping me dress. But gay guys, I think, would just they know what shoes I need to wear, with what belt and what socks. I mean, their socks. I mean, they're wearing these crazy socks. Anyways, all right, I'm ranting. Anyways, it's not hostile and offensive. You kidding me? Every single gay guy I know is if they were not gay and used the same language, then they would be called homophobic. I mean, good friends of mine that are gay tell me to, you know, stop being such a fag. I mean, like, get the fuck over it.
That guy is such a player. He takes home a different girl every weekend.
That sounds like a player hater to me. This is yeah, you go right into the player hater's ball. So much hate. So much hate! Oh! Promote disrespect toward other people. Oh! You mean like rap music that talks about bitches and hoes and all that music that progressives and Democrats, you know, like to promote? like Jay-Z hasn't depicted disrespect towards women. You know, Snoop Dogg hasn't projected. Godly, fuck out of here.
In addition to recognizing how cultural factors contribute to sexual violence in society, it's important to understand how sexual assault impacts an academic community.
Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Ah, fuck me. And we're not even halfway through, folks. Holy shit. I need, wrong one. I need a drink. If you're not drinking by now, I'm going to pause this to go get myself a drink. All right, 2 seconds for you, a lifetime for me. I got myself some of that Red's bourbon, what real men drink, because I promote the patriarchy, and I feel that conforming to gender stereotypes is not only a right but a duty. But no, seriously, folks, are you starting to see how this is pure indoctrination? We're not talking about violent sexual assault not on our grounds at the University of Virginia. They're trying to program these students into thinking that an advertisement, a simple ad for bourbon that's promoted, that's targeting men, and says, you know, it's what real men drink. You know, that is somehow wrong. That's somehow morally wrong and promotes, you know, a negative gender conforming stereotype, blah, blah, blah. It's all fucking bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. And this is what they are pushing on these students. We're no longer talking about again, we're not talking about, you know, being at a kegger and seeing some girl that's intoxicated and doing the right thing and making sure that she gets home safely or whatever. We're no longer talking about that. We're talking about gender stereotypes. We're talking about sexual orientation. We're talking about all this bullshit. Moving on. And no, actually, I'm drinking Anchor Steam. Anchor Steam, founded in 1965 by, revitalized in 1965 by Fritz Maytag of the Maytag family, you know, just like the washer and dryers in San Francisco. Really good beer. Really interesting fermentation process, but moving on.
Sexual assault is any form of sexual contact that occurs without consent and/or through the use of force, threat of force, intimidation, or coercion.
Again, do you see how they throw out that wide net? That's exactly what I'm talking about. The wide net. Any form of sexual contact without consent. So again, think back to your favorite coming of age 1980s movie, and it's all sexual assault. Everything. From Porky's to Pretty in Pink. I mean, everything. is now becoming illegal. It's no longer just fun, no longer boys being boys, or even girls being girls. Stumbling. They're taking away that purity of being a young kid and fumbling through relationships and learning how to navigate the minefield that is a relationship. I mean, it's getting to the point now where they want to micromanage how you have and how you engage in relationships.
Title IX is a federal law that requires schools receiving federal funding to combat gender-based violence and harassment.
Which is bullshit. That's bullshit. Okay? Title IX is I'm going to do my best not to get into it, but Title IX is so horrible, and I'm so happy that Betsy DeVos started gutting it. The schools have set up. Go research it. Go again. I point you towards Christina Hoff Summers. She does an amazing job at outlining Title IX. Go Google Christina Hoff Summers, and that's SOMMERS. Go Google it. I don't mind. I don't mind you. This is a long video.
Respond to reports to ensure that all students have an equal access.
Go pull it up and then come back. Come watch. I'm sure there's gonna be more shit.
To education.
I'm drinking.
The Department of Education oversees schools' compliance with the requirements of Title IX.
Why? Why does the Department of Education have anything to do with overseeing violence and harassment and enforcing laws against of violence, combating violence and harassment? Why isn't that the police and judicial system?
Next, we'll learn about the prevalence of sexual assault within our communities.
And I'm sure it's going to be well cited.
Try your hand at matching up these statistics.
See, folks? See this? These aren't real statistics. I mean, I don't know what the 80% is or 68%. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But they've already they started this entire thing out with a lie of the 1 in 5. Right? So how can we be sure that these are accurate? I don't even know. I'm just whatever. Oh. Okay. So here this goes back to the Orwellian thing, right? I can't go forward. I can't go forward unless I answer the questions that they want, the way that they want them, right? So 2 + 2 = 3, guys. I'm sorry, 2 + 2 = 5.
Knowing that sexual assault is happening in our communities, we can look for opportunities to notice and take action when things aren't right. Let's build safe, supportive communities.
Yes! Let's build some safe, supportive communities. Or not, like, or we could just mind our own. Oh, and of course, we need to share. We need to share, guys. But notice that here we have rape. Here we have sexual assault and rape victims. Here's sexual assault. And here's just assaults. So why the difference in language? I thought it was sexual assault, but then it was sexual violence, and now we're talking about rape. So all these statistics, I'm willing to bet that wherever the hell they, no citation. Are they under materials? No. Okay. So no citation. I'm sure it's probably found somewhere buried. But so let's go through this. 80% of sexual assaults and rape victims are under age 30. Okay. And also, oh my God. So what they don't say is that actually statistically, more men are actually raped than women. I know that all of this is not showing that, but what a lot of these studies and such, what they discount and what they remove is prison rape. So when you factor in prison, the prison populations, men are raped far more than women. 68% of sexual assaults are not reported to the police. And whose fault is that? Why? Why aren't they reported? Okay, how about this? If 68% of sexual assaults are not reported to the police, then how do you know that 68% of sexual assaults are not reported to the police? How do you know? You know, it's the same issue that we have with defensive gun uses, right? One of the issues that we have is that there are countless number of defensive uses for firearms every year. And I say countless because we really don't know, because they go unreported, right? So we can estimate, we can guess, you know, but really nobody knows how often guns are used in a defensive manner to protect life and property. You know, if somebody's walking up on a woman in you know, to rape her in a back alley, for example, you know, if she pulls out her gun and the guy runs away and she doesn't call the police, that's an unreported use of a firearm being used legally for a defensive purpose, and that number will never go reported. We don't ever know that incident happened statistically. So in that same regard, how do we know then that 68% of sexual assaults are not reported to the police when we use police statistics to determine rape and rape statistics? Furthermore, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? You know, if you go on, it's not fire. There's another one. I think it's fee. No, it's gotta pause it. I need to get this right. All right, so I had to get this right. So it's actually face, not fire or fee. I was trying to think of all the S. So yeah, face is the I don't even see what it stands for here, but it's like families advocating for campus equality. Here, you can go on this site. It's facecampusequality.org, and you can read about all of the false rape allegations made against students every year. And it's just ridiculous. So a lot of this. So if there was one story on there about a guy who was kicked out of his school. A female student accused him of sexual assault. The police were called in, investigated, proved that there was no way that the guy could have done it. There was no way. You know, he was. They didn't even arrest him. They were like, this is absolutely bogus. And the male student was kicked out of the college. And then he can't get into another college because it goes on his permanent record that he was kicked out of the college, and so his name is now tarnished and can't get in. So again, going back to my point, is that if 68% of sexual assaults are not reported to the police, why? Why? Because they have Title IX. Because they have Title IX, and they go to their colleges, administrators and stuff, and then they put on this kangaroo courts where they have, under Title IX, there's certain language, legal language, and it's and I forget the exact language, but it's like beyond a reasonable doubt. We all know of that. That's a certain criteria, but there's also like without the preponderance of doubt or something. I don't know the exact language, but basically the level to be able to essentially find a student guilty of sexual assault on college campuses are so low that all it takes is for a female student to accuse a male student of doing this, and he's gone. Okay? And so if 68% are not reported to the police, I have to ask why, and why the hell not? Fuck Title IX. Fuck going to the colleges, these professors and these admin individuals. Go to the police. If somebody honestly rapes somebody else, then he needs to be arrested. Like, we all remember, well, maybe we don't all, but we should all remember Duke Lacrosse. The entire country was against them. Everybody was against them. And for all the different reasons, because they were men, because they were white, and she was black, and blah, 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 right? Like, they were racist, all this kind of shit, right? And everybody hated them. But it turned out to be completely bullshit, right? So if the police aren't involved, then I'm sorry, then it didn't freaking happen. That's as far as I'm concerned, all right? Because if somebody were to brutally rape me, you better believe I'm going to the police. Or if somebody comes to me saying, "Hey, I think I was raped," I would say, "Okay, I'm taking you to the police." I'm not going to say, "Hey, let's go to our dean, or let's go to our guidance counselor and talk to them." That's absolute bullshit. 4 out of 5 assaults are committed by someone known to the victim. I mean, that's with almost anything. That's with murders, homicides, are often, theft. I think is I don't know if theft is, but I mean, most of this stuff is well known. And also, notice how they have 4 out of 5 assaults, and they have females as the icon, but they don't say 4 out of 5 assaults on women are committed by someone known to the victim or whatever, but they have a very woman icon. All right, instead of using it as a percentage of 80%, right? Am I doing that math right? Yeah, 80%, right? Shit, stupid math. Yeah. Instead of saying 80% and using the little pie graph over there of saying 80% of assaults are committed by someone known to the victim, they do 4 out of 5 assaults and they show women. All right. 1 in 33 men have experienced an attempted or completed rape in their lifetime. What does that mean? Like, sorry, this language is a little ambiguous to me. Like they have attempted or completed to commit rape, or they have had attempted or completed rape done against them. Have experienced. I'm sure it's had done to them. But you notice that now the term is used rape, right? Not assault, not sexual assault, right? Because I'm sure that if they had sexual assault and they used the wide net that they use for everything else, you would find similar statistics, 1 in 5. I would bet money you would find at the very least, especially because it's all done on a survey. You also have to consider if the men are actually being honest, or even recall. Like, I don't recall if a female touched my knee. In my lifetime, I don't know. I don't know, but because but they use that as an example or as a definition of sexual assault.
It is important to understand institutional definitions related to sexual assault. See your school's definition below.
Any intentional sexual touching, however slight. Notice, however slight. Like, that has to be in there, because the knee, performed by a person upon another person. Sexual includes intentional touching of the breasts, buttocks, groin, or genitals, whether clothed or unclothed, or intentionally touching another with any of these body parts. Making another touch you or themselves with or on any of these body parts. So, you go to a party, everybody's drinking, everybody's having a good time, music's playing, everybody's drunk, in their togas doing keg stands or whatever kids are doing nowadays. Nowadays, they're probably all doing designer drugs and shit. I have no idea what kids do in college. But, you know, a group of people are talking in the kitchen or in one room, and then another room, a bunch of guys run through, and they smack everybody's asses. Males and females, they just run through and just smack everybody else's smack their asses, and then they run off. That's sexual assault, right? Intentional sexual touching of the buttocks, clothed, however slight, right? So that's how you get 1 in 5.
Every college and university has its own set of policies and expectations.
I
Review.
get it. Yeah, I get it.
Not all sexual assault survivors choose to share their experience with others. Some choose not to because of fear of not being believed or of being stigmatized.
So this is some bullshit. You know, they. All right, I'll get into this later, but I'll get into this afterwards. But sexual assault survivors, like those guys that just had their asses slapped, they're survivors. They're survivors. Like, it's just the language, and the way that they manipulate the language to make it seem so dramatic, even if it's not. Even if it was just, you know, some awkward, you know, nerdy guy just trying to, you know, kiss the girl that he's had a crush on since the, you know, the first day of the semester. You know, she's a survivor.
Others,
she's not gonna give up.
Don't realize.
She's not gonna stop.
That
she's gonna try harder.
What happened to them is a crime, or that something can be done about it. Certain.
Yeah, if they don't think it's a crime, then it's probably completely, like, nothing. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with an N. Anyways, it's probably nothing. Like touching the person's knee. You know, that's technically a crime. Yes, and you know they didn't think anything about it. If you don't think, hey, I should go to the police for this, then it wasn't that. Then you're not a survivor. It's not that big of a deal.
Academic or professional relationships may bring about a fear of retaliation. As a friend, loved one, classmate, colleague, or just a caring member of your community, it's important to support victims regardless of their decision.
Notice that he said victims, but it's written survivors? Did anybody else notice that? It's important to support victims regardless of their decision. So, are they victims or are they survivors? Like, and again, this is where that language starts to conflate back to what I was talking about. They're conflating the horrible act of violent rape with, having your knee touched, or having your ass slapped at a party, or any of the other nothing. Like, God, I need to figure out what that word I'm thinking of is. Anyways, I'm gonna think about the stupid word. I'm gonna blank. Anyways, it's just they're conflating the two by calling them all victims, by calling them all survivors, right? And casting this wide net. And why don't they think they should go to the police? Well, because you only mentioned it once in this entire time. How many times did they mention go to the police? Once, and that was with stalking. That was with stalking. Go to the police. Never on any of this other sexual assault, sexual what are they? Sexual assault, sexual violence, and rape. They haven't mentioned once go to the police. But they're willing to throw out that 68%. They don't go to the police. Well, gee, I fucking wonder why.
If you or someone you know experiences violence, harassment, abuse, or sexual assault, there are actions you can take. Click each panel below.
Here we go. Oh, so we finally get to this. All right, yeah. Okay, yeah, preserve evidence. Yeah. Yep, got it. So the right to you have the right to notify law enforcement. Not only do you have the right, I would say you have an obligation. Like, you know, it's for me the two most horrible acts that any person could commit against another person is rape and murder. Most people would agree with that, right? Rape and murder, right? I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe people have a legal obligation to report murder. I believe. I don't know. If anybody knows law, let me know. But yeah, note that certain campus employees must report offenses to the institution. You can also decline to notify law enforcement. Why? If you were fucking raped, why would you decline to notify law enforcement? Think about that. Well, the only reason why I could see why you would decline to notify law enforcement is because you're fucking making it up. That's the only reason why I could see it. And now I get it. People are gonna say, well, to avoid going through the hardships of facing their blah, blah, blah. No, that's bullshit. That's absolutely bullshit. All right? Because if you were violently raped, I was freaking attacked by Antifa at the thing. You think I'm like, oh no, I don't want to notify the law enforcement that those guys attacked me? Fuck no. Fuck them. You know, it just think about that. Why would you not? What? And then just to kind of gloss over this stuff. Oh, you can also decline to notify law enforcement. Why? Why would you? Why? I don't get it. Give me one good reason in the comments, please.
If you or someone you know experiences violence, harassment, abuse, or sexual assault, a report can be made to several individuals, including police, campus security, and several types of school employees. Responsible employees, who are required to report all details of an...
Again, why are you going to employees of the school? Why aren't you going to the police? I don't understand this whole. I'm gonna go talk to this professor because I'm one of his 150 students, and he may know my name, maybe, or this TA or whatever. Like, why? Go to the fucking police.
Offense. Confidential employees, who do not have to report offenses they are made aware of.
Why is that even a thing? Like, I get telling people, hey, you go to the administrators, you go. Okay, let's say that you go to a counselor or somebody that you've got a good rapport with. Why are there things that are confidential employees? Why is that a thing? Why are there special individuals who, if you go in and say, I was violently raped, they could be like, I'll keep this confidential. I'll keep this between us. Don't worry about it. It's cool. I'm not going to tell anybody. Like, are you fucking shitting me? How is that a thing?
Some schools may also have anonymous reporters who must report offenses but do not need to include identifying information.
So you can anonymously say that Robert sexually harassed me, but you can do it anonymously. So Robert doesn't have to face his accuser. Well, let me flip through here. I think is that the Fifth Amendment? I think that's Fifth Amendment. I'm looking it up. But anyways, one of these, or the Seventh Amendment? I don't know. One of these amendments basically here we go. Yep, Sixth Amendment. And to be informed of the nature in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall be previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusations, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. So you're bypassing the Sixth Amendment of the United States Constitution, of the Bill of Rights. You are denying a person their right to face their accused, so that you can accuse them of rape anonymously without going to the police. So that and so Title IX, under Title IX, the courts or of the school can remove you from the school and completely ruin your entire academic and career and entire future. Yeah, there's no way that could ever be abused.
When a report is made to your school, the school must provide the person who experienced the offense with information on their rights and options, including protection against retaliation from the school, available services, counseling, health, legal, etc., and accommodation options, changes to academic, living, transportation, and working situations. The school's responsibilities to protect the complainant, including no contact orders or similar legal orders. How the school will protect their confidentiality in any publicly available record keeping and in any protective measures taken.
What about the protection of the accused? What about the protection of the accused? What about the school's responsibility to protect the accused and their confidentiality in any publicly available record keeping and any protective measures taken? No, fuck that guy, right?
If disciplinary action is taken in cases of sexual assault, stalking, relationship violence, or other sexual violence, the proceedings will include a prompt, fair, and impartial process.
Yeah, right.
Use the preponderance of evidence standard.
That's what, see? That's what I was talking about. See, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. See, the preponderance of evidence, which means that it is more likely than not that the offense occurred. Okay? Which is like one of the lowest standards. Okay? Include a prompt, fair, and impartial process, just like this whole not on our grounds module is fair and impartial, right?
Meaning it is more likely than not that the offense occurred. Be conducted by officials who are trained on investigating these issues. Provide both the complainant and the respondent opportunities to be accompanied by an advocate, advisor, or other support person of their choice. The complainant and respondent will receive simultaneous notification of the result of the proceedings, information on how to appeal the result, any change to the result, when the result becomes final.
All right, folks, so just real quick, bear with me here. If you go to YouTube, do this. Go to YouTube, go to Face. Let me see. All right, that's not good. All right, yeah, I'm messing it up. Anyways, there are some great videos put out by Face talking about how this doesn't just affect students. This also negatively impacts the administrators as well. And I'll be covering this in my final paper. So stay
every
tuned.
college and university has its own set of policies and expectations.
Got it.
Individuals who experience sexual assault have the option of reporting to their school, to police, or to both.
Why? Why is school even an option? Like, why isn't this process really simple? if I'm an administrator, I'm part of the faculty, and a student comes into me, and I've built up a rapport with my students, and a student comes up to me and says, I've been horribly raped. Why, and I say, okay, we're going to the police because I'm a good person, and that's what you should do. But why is there even an option to be like, no, I don't want to go to the police? I still don't understand this. I'm sorry, I'm wrapped up about it, obviously.
Filing a report with police may result in a criminal investigation, which has some distinct differences from the investigations that schools conduct.
Yeah, one's actually based on evidence and a higher standard to ensure that we don't wrongly convict the accused, and they also protect the accused, and there's actually a process, an actual legal process to go through, rather than the bullshit conducted by the preponderance of evidence standard of Title IX bullshit.
When a report is made to your school, campus authorities have a responsibility of determining whether or not the incident violates school policies or Title IX. Title IX is a federal civil rights law prohibiting sex-based discrimination, which includes sexual assault.
Also, funny fact, Title IX started out as a civil rights law prohibiting sex-based discrimination based on funding for sports. That's how Title IX started. This is why when you all of these great and wonderful programs that the government has, like income taxation, and I think that's the 16th Amendment, and Social Security, right? All these great things. They all start off as sounding really great, right? Hey, people don't know this. The income tax was first proposed as just a tax on the top 1%. I can't make this up. Was that? I think that was 1911. I think it was in 1911 when the 16th Amendment passed. I'm going off of memory here. So even way back then, they were talking about, Bernie Sanders, the top 1% of they need to pay their fair share. That was in 1911. They're like, we're going to do this income tax. And everyone was like, yeah, fuck those 1%ers. Now everybody's got to pay income tax, right? When they passed Social Security, right? They passed Social Security and they're like, well, it's a voluntary thing, guys. Don't worry. This is simply a voluntary thing that you can put towards, you could opt to give money to the government, and then we will give you, put it into a fund, and we will return it with interest when you retire. It's an optional thing. Now, it's not fucking optional, and there is no fucking money in Social Security. All right? So, same thing with Title IX. It started with it's not fair that all of the money is going towards male sports, but not women's sports. And so people are like, all right, well then, we need to not have sex-based discrimination in our collegiate sports, So we're going to pass this Title IX. It has now expanded, and this was under the Obama administration, to include, this kind of stuff where they're now doing collegiate courtrooms against people who are anonymously against people who are accused of sexual assault, sexual harassment, etc. But the accuser doesn't want to go to the police about it. So wrap your mind around that one.
When a report is made to police, law enforcement authorities must determine whether an incident has violated criminal law.
Yeah, no shit.
The standard of evidence required by law enforcement is higher than that of schools.
Good.
Criminal complaints must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. This means that an incident may violate your school's policies, even if there is not enough evidence for criminal charges.
No. This means that an incident may not have enough evidence to determine whether or not the accused is guilty by the law, but the school determines that they're going to punish the individual anyways. That's what this means. right? Like, you're fucking with people's lives here. You know, I personally, I'm going to college because it's for me, it's a lifetime goal that I'm just like, I don't think I really need it. I think college is bullshit. I think that you know, most people are better off not going. I could count on one hand the number of things that I've actually learned and that I'm actually going to take with me throughout the rest of my life. For you know, tens of thousands of dollars, many people hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? I think it's bullshit. So when you have these students, these 18, 19, 20-year-olds, you know, and you're not going to apply a standard where you could be absolutely certain that he committed a crime, a fucking crime. Like, how does that make sense? If you think somebody's committed a crime, then the police need to get involved. You know, this whole bullshit of well, we can't prove that he actually did anything wrong, but we're still going to kick him out of school. We're going to take his money. Thank you for the $8,500,000. We appreciate that, but now we're going to kick you out because this person over here anonymously accuses you of doing something that they can't prove that you did.
Individuals who
When we think about sexual assault, it's important that we understand the issue and recognize the contributing cultural factors. We must also be sure to act in accordance with our own values, not those of the media or other influences, and to be aware of when school or local policies are being violated.
What? When we think about sexual assault, it's important that we understand the issues and recognize the contributing cultural factors. What the fuck does that mean? Be sure to act in accordance with our own values. How do you know that their own values isn't that they're like the 1% of people who are like, rape? Fuck yeah, rape is great. I love rape. You know, like, this is just such moral grandstanding, and really this is some like egocentric bullshit, right? Because you're assuming other people's values while demonizing 49% of the population. My take, because that's what I care about. I care about your opinion. Fuck, this.
It started when our project group first got together. One of the guys leaned over and made a comment about one of the women, about the dress she had on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It pretty much blindsided me.
I'm sure this isn't totally scripted. This seems really heartfelt. This seems really. Is this guy part of the theater program here?
I just sort of nodded my head.
Yeah. How do we know that? Yeah. Guys lean over to other guys and say, "Hey, man, she's pretty hot." That happens. Get over it. And you're gonna pretend like women don't do or think the same thing about men? That's just called being a human.
Honestly, didn't know what to say.
Say, yeah, bro.
I wish I did.
Pound it.
Because the next week, as we were splitting up our group task, he blurts out, one of the guys should tackle this problem, since women aren't really known for their math skills.
Yeah, I'm sure that happened. I'm really certain that this is a factual event. Yeah, because that happens all the time, right, guys? Am I right, guys? I mean, men, right? And women. Am I right, guys? God.
I can remember just because the next week, as we were splitting up our group task, he blurts out.
Okay, so it starts with him commenting. They don't say what kind of a comment it was. There's no details about the comment, but comments on a woman's dress. let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, women. Men don't really comment on the clothes you wear. The only thing that we comment on that has any kind of relation to the clothing that you wear is if you look good in them or not, right? For example, yoga pants. Okay, guys will look at yoga pants and be like, "Damn, she looks hot in those yoga pants." That's about it. We don't give a shit otherwise. Like, we really don't. Makeup, how you do your hair, your fingernails, all the other things that you do to make yourself look good. That's for other women, I think, or something. I don't know, because guys don't generally give a crap. Okay, there's a little fun fact. All right, so I love how this guy goes from commenting on a woman's dress to blurting out something that's factually, that's statistically accurate, but whatever.
It started when our project group first got together. One of the guys leaned over and made a comment about one of the women, about the dress she had on.
Yeah, no guy ever comments on women's dresses. That's not that. I don't think the only time I've ever commented on a woman's dress is when my wife specifically asked me how she looks or what I think about the dress that she's wearing. That's about it. I've never ever commented on a woman's dress ever, and I've never heard any guys commenting on any women's dresses ever. I don't know. Maybe there was a time when somebody said something like, "Oh man, her dress was really short." Yeah, she looked hot. Like that. Like guys don't go into that kind of stuff. Like we just say that she's hot or not. Yeah, she looked hot. That's it. That's guys. Like we don't get into details. We don't care.
It pretty much blindsided me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I just sort of nodded my head.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know what to say. I wish I did. Because the next week, as we were splitting up our group task, he blurts out, "One of the guys should tackle this problem, since women aren't really known for their math skills."
Statistically, on the whole, women do better with people, and men do better with things. This is why men tend to be more mechanics. You see more men as mechanics, as construction workers, as carpenters. This is not to say that women can't be carpenters. This is not to say that women can't be mechanics. This is not to say that women can't do great, amazing, wonderful things. All right, but on the whole, women have more of a proclivity to deal with people, and men have more proclivity to deal with things. Women tend to gravitate towards personnel service related jobs, nurses, doctors, teachers, right? Where they're interacting with people more than they're interacting with things. This is a statistical fact. So take that for what you will. This is not to say that women can't be good at math. Obviously, Asian women are going to be better at math than not. Yeah, little racism with my sexism there.
I can remember just sitting there thinking, did he
right.
really just say that?
How scripted was that? How cringy and scripted was that? God.
I brought it up to some other group members, and I realized they felt the same way. Not just the women, but the other guys too. So now, if he says something offensive, I'll just give him a look like, really?
Yeah, that's it. Give him a look.
That's all it takes. And sometimes
give him a
one
look.
of us will say something like, hey, that's not cool. Or I'm really not okay with that.
Are these all exact examples?
Try to bring it closer to home. Like, would you want someone to say that about your sister?
Yes.
And the group really backs each other up. I mean, we're not trying to be the thought police here. We just want to create a safe,
yes, you are.
environment.
Yes, you are. Yes, you're trying to tone police people. You're trying to tell people what to think. They even bring this up. Can you believe this? Look at this entire thing that we've been dealing with here for an hour and a half or however long we've been. Like, absolutely. They openly admit that they're trying to influence your community. They're trying to influence you, your family members, and everybody around you. They try to tell you what your relationships should look like. What's a healthy relationship? What's an unhealthy relationship? Yes, you are. Yes, you are trying to tone police. Yes, you are trying to be the thought police. This whole thing is a thought police. This whole mandatory module is forcing this onto impressionable young adults.
For everyone.
Yeah. God.
And the good thing is, he's coming around.
I'm sure.
He's cut way down on the negative humor.
In a whole semester, and just one semester that this has happened.
I mean, we're not trying to attack.
By the way, a semester is like 4 months or whatever it is. Yeah.
Or belittle him. We're just instilling a level of respect for everybody.
You're not trying to belittle him or whatever. You're just trying to change his thoughts, his ideas, his ideology. Things. You're just trying to shame him away from the hate facts that he used. And correct me if I'm wrong. If you could cite a study that shows that women in general are better at math than men, then I'm wrong. So be it. And that was his opinion. It doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant, right? You are trying to change him. You're trying to shame him into thinking your way.
Because at the end of the
and this whole thing, this all goes into paying attention to somebody else's relationship. Why are you caring so much about somebody else's relationship that you're gonna step in and say something? Like, mind your own fucking business. Where's that? Like, I don't think I've ever paid that close of attention to somebody else's relationship or the way somebody else is behaving that I felt the need to do or say anything. Because I just don't care. God.
The day, disrespectful language and attitudes, they hurt all of us.
No, they don't. No, they hurt people who can't, who take offense at every little thing. They'll hurt you if you want to be offended, you'll be offended. Okay? If you really want to be offended, you could take offense and be offended by anything that anybody says ever. If you want to be offended, you can be offended by the Kekistani flag that's flying behind this whole thing, right here. You can be offended by that. Antifa attacked me for carrying a flag like that to the Unite the Right rally on August 12th. Because they were offended, and they assaulted me, and they attacked me for it. Okay? So if you want to be offended by something as innocuous, that was the word I was looking for, innocuous, so the N word, it has an N in it. Something as innocuous as a Kekistani flag, or somebody saying, hey, women aren't generally known, aren't known for being good at mathematics? Well, no, Asians are. And Jews. I'm not. I suck at math. See, let's build safe, supportive communities. So you say, oh, we're not trying to be thought polices here, but let's build communities based on what we think is right. The language that we think is right. Fucking hell. Holy shit. See, I'm only on part 1. Fuck. Alright, this is gonna be a 2-part. Fuck. I can't do this anymore. Fuck it. Alright, check back tomorrow. Bye guys. Fuck it. I'm done. I need more to drink.
I was sitting in my room. My mom and my dad came in. They pulled up a chair and they sat down. They go, Mike, we need to talk to you. I go, okay, what's the matter? They go, me and your Mom, we've noticed lately you've been having a lot of problems. And you've been going off for no reason. And we're afraid you're gonna hurt somebody. And we're afraid you're gonna hurt yourself. So we decided that it would be in your best interest if we put you somewhere where you can get the help that you need. And I go, wait, what are you talking about? We decided my best interest? How do you know what my best interest is? How can you say what my best interest is? What are you trying to say? I'm crazy? When I went to your schools, I went to your churches, I went to your institutional learning facilities. So how can you say I'm crazy? Say to go to pick my brain, leave me something, never take one time to pick my head, better maybe I'll be dead. I'm not crazy.